What's up, fam? It's been a little while, but your boys are back and proud, loud and proud,
Yes,
ready to get back
sir.
to the swing of things. No, it's been a little while, but we're gonna go ahead and dive into this NBA episode as per usual. Cheers,
Cheers,
buddy.
buddy. Back with the stateside surf sides.
Yes. Um, Stateside, I'm gonna be sending you a DM after this episode. Actually, we're gonna start doing this day one of sending you a DM and trying to get a sponsorship. And also YouTube, if you block my video again. So for the past month, I haven't been able to post a video because for some reason, every single video they say that there's some sort of copyright content. We did have like games going on in the back sometimes. The first few episodes were uploaded fine. For some reason, starting in January, they just began to not be uploaded. They just wanted to crack down on us, I guess. So we're gonna try a few things. One, we're turning off the TV. That logo right there, that's ours. So YouTube, get your shit together, and hopefully they don't block us because of stateside. But who knows?
I can't imagine
I would
that.
doubt. I would
Yeah,
doubt that.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, but no. So it's a Saturday. It's a lovely Saturday, February 10th. We are well, weather-wise, feels amazing. Thank you
Yeah,
to the groundhog for blessing us with some beautiful weather.
for sure. It's February and it's high 50s. So
It feels great.
yeah,
Um, yeah, we've gotten to the point of the year with sports that the NFL is coming to a sad end. Um, last week I was saying how I'm essentially not going to be watching the Super Bowl, but things have changed. I'll be watching it. We'll entertain ourselves with that mess. Um, but we'll go. I guess let's just go ahead and give
yeah.
everybody our predictions with what we think for this week with the Super Bowl, and then we can dive into this week's
NBA.
NBA episode.
Yeah,
So we have Chiefs and Niners.
yeah,
It's it's one of the Super Bowls, man, where the Niners have had the strongest team in the whole NFL this whole entire season. I hate to say it, I think this is where they get punched in the mouth and kind of get. It's almost like that big brother putting the little brother in his place.
hmm
And the Chiefs, I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
yeah.
I think Chiefs take it. I think Chiefs win it 34-21.
Okay, well,
Um, Andy Reid's not a fan of running the ball, but I think with this game that Isaiah Pacheco is going to definitely be utilized. I can see him having a touchdown for sure. I think Isaiah Pacheco has over 70 yards rushing and a touchdown.
okay,
Um, I think CMC also has a tutty.
okay.
I think he has over 80 yards rushing. But I do think that the Chiefs get it. Back-to-back Super Bowls. It's disgusting to say, but you know, I guess a part of it is the NFL getting their way.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs too. For most of the same reasons. I can't bet against Mahomes. I don't want to take things away from Brock Purdy, but I just can't see him outdueling him.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't think Foles could do it versus Brady, so crazier things have
of
happened. But
course.
um, yeah, no,
And that's where, to your point, though, that's where Kyle Shanahan can win this game
right.
because of his creativity of being able to
He's a,
essentially confuse defenses
right.
left and right with his
All the
motions.
motions, the movements.
So that could be a way that
You
if they
call
stick to their guns,
you said it. They're the more talented team coming into
yeah,
this, really on both sides of
top to
football.
bottom, I think from
Minus quarterback,
minus
right?
quarterback, minus quarterback, and minus tight end. Tight
Minus
end,
tight end. I mean, mine. Well.
I know George Kittle is really good,
Yeah,
but I would take
yeah,
Travis
that's fine.
Kelsey. I think
That's
Travis
fair.
I think Travis Kelsey. I
That's
mean,
fair.
and then you look at the receivers for the Niners. They
Oh
have better
yeah.
receivers than the
Oh,
Chiefs for sure.
for sure.
So top to bottom, besides tight end and besides quarterback, I mean, they pretty much have the upper hand. Even on the defensive side, all the Chiefs just have is Chris Jones. That's about it. But they have
The
Fred
Chiefs,
Warner, they have Javon Hargrave, they have
right,
Chase Young, they have Bosa.
right.
Um,
The Chiefs'
they're
defense they have solid players, but I believe a lot of their success is because of Spagnola, the
yeah,
defensive
yeah,
coordinator, great
great.
schemer.
Yep,
He puts them in position to do well. And I'm not saying the 49ers don't have that either, but they just, to your point, they have so much talent just behind them. They don't even have Hafunga. Like people like, they lost a few guys
yeah.
here. And
Mofongo was out for the whole this
um,
season.
so, yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good one. I think I'm kind of thinking more like, I'm thinking like a 31, maybe 27 score
Okay,
Chiefs.
yeah,
Yeah, I just think Mahomes, I think the, he's the new Brady,
yeah,
and I think he's gonna get it done. What's funny is Vegas has them as the dog, so I'll tell you what, I'm I'm gonna be pounding that.
yeah, yeah. No,
Chiefs
that'll be
money line,
something
baby.
for sure. Patrick Mahomes will get his third championship. Um,
Probably the MVP.
for sure, definitely will be the MVP. I mean, he's been able to go ahead and bring that team to. That team has only gotten to the Super
He's
Bowl
elevated
because
everyone on the
of
team.
Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes.
he's elevated
Um,
everything on that team on the offense side.
so yeah, congratulations, to them if they win, and uh, like I mentioned, the NFL is going to get what they want. They're going to have Taylor Swift on the field with Travis Kelsey and a whole montage down there. So,
Maybe she'll get a ring too.
oh, good night, good night. That'll be quick. They got
It's not like 4 months
yeah,
because they
like
she
slow
was
down, buddy.
she didn't even start dating him till like what, like 4 games in or something like that, right? Because he was out for a few games too.
Oh, they didn't get together. It's like middle
Week
of the
5,
season,
something like that. Week 6.
middle of the season, towards the end of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's that with the NFL. Great NFL season, but we're turning our focus now to the NBA. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, what a week it was! What a beautiful week it was.
I love the trade deadline week.
Trade deadline is with the NBA is essentially like a holiday for all NBA fans.
It's unmatched.
Your and what was funny is that this was a week that I had actually two new hires, so I couldn't
You weren't
like in
keeping up like you normally would.
yeah, in the past, I've been able to like have Twitter up, and I'm like constantly checking like Woj or Shams like every 15 to 20 minutes, right? And this time, I couldn't keep up with any trades that were going on. But I'm sitting there. I think it was like 15 minutes like of a break,
Hmm.
and I'm just sitting there in one of our like conference rooms that we were like having the training meetings in and whatnot. And outside of this conference room, one of my like friends, he's like at his desk, and he stands up, looks at me, and he's like, "Buddy healed." And I literally just dropped my phone, and I'm like, "What? Like, you've got to be kidding me!" I literally like jumped up in the air. I'm like fist pumping, like punching the
Yeah,
air and whatnot.
well,
I don't think I mean, I've been a big fan of Buddy Hield. When he was in Sacramento and won the 3-point contest,
hmm,
I'm like, man, this guy, like Sacramento at that time also had a bunch of guards. They were just literally
guard
just
heavy. They
guard
still
heavy
are in a
every
way.
yeah, every single year they were just drafting a new guard, it seems like. And for a while I'm like, Buddy Hield deserves to be in Philly. Like, do whatever you can to get him in Philly. And I laughed at the video that I saw this morning where they were interviewing him about it, and they were like talking about how he got traded, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's been a while that this was going to happen, but
Long time coming.
yeah," he's like,
Yeah.
"It was
Yep.
never happened," and finally, man, it's like, and at the same time, he's not past his prime.
He's not exactly. I actually think he has some in the tank that he hasn't been able to show yet.
Yeah.
I think obviously he's a fantastic shooter.
Hmm.
Next to Steph right now, on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
he's been 40% across the board.
Yep.
So huge need the Sixers have needed,
Yeah.
right? But I think he's more of like a scorer, right? He had some nice drives to the hoop I saw
Yeah.
yesterday. He can put the ball on the floor, so I think especially whether it's this year or next year, I think he's going to have a nice little two-man game with Embiid. I think he's a fantastic fast break option.
Hmm.
Running down, hit a corner, caddy corner three. So I like the move. I know we had to give up some picks to get him, but I think it's a good investment.
Yeah, and that's actually something that I was going to get to is what we had to give up, player wise. Not
I'm
I
fine
don't
with it.
care what
Yeah. Hmm.
Marcus Morris, like I loved him in Philly. Honestly, he probably should have been in Philly a lot earlier in his career. Um, but
It's an upgrade having
yeah,
Hield in the line. Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's an
definitely an
upgrade.
upgrade. Furkan gets to now go somewhere else to, you know,
We gotta clap. He's gone.
yeah,
He's
we've
gone.
definitely got to.
Oh my God, I've
Furkan.
been calling for this for years.
All
Sorry,
right,
sorry,
with
sorry,
no,
Ferk.
no.
Sorry, Ferk Daddy, but
Furkan. I remember last year. I It was actually this week. He requested a trade, and first things first. What's his name? Brian Windhorst.
mm-hmm.
Brian Windhorst, great guy. Like a lot of his stories that really really good. But I'm like, why is Brian Windhorst giving Furkan the time of day? He's
Why is
he
he reporting this?
he reported it. Furkan Korkmaz request for a trade. Like anybody cares. Like anybody cares. Furkan, don't. You're not
Well,
like
he got cut. You see that? He's not gonna be on an NBA team.
he got cut by Indiana.
Pacers waived him. It just was a cap thing. They just need. I think they needed the extra 5 mil.
Wow.
So he won't. I
Well,
don't think he'll be on a roster.
I mean, listen. If there's any team that I think that could benefit from him, OKC. Just have depth in shooting. That's about it. Um, could be a Golden State that could possibly
I was gonna
snag him
say
up.
it's either something like that or it's one of the bottom feeders that just have playing time for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
So Furkan and Marcus Morris, good riddance. But the 3 second round picks, that is something that I will say that it kind of gave me like a gut punch when I saw that because I was just like, wow, like that's a lot. Like I do crazy trades in Madden and NBA and whatnot that are ridiculous when I'm throwing out draft picks, but like this one, I'm like, damn, 3 draft picks that we and I get that we had to.
He tried to get some back, right? So
Well,
he got
listen, this is where because I'm trying to think, what did we get? Because we got
so
rid of. Oh well, we
s-
got rid of Patrick Beverly to get a 2027 second round pick, so
right.
that's what we got.
And then Springer was a second round pick. So
Yeah,
that's how we got the two. House was just for cash to
and
the
Marcus Morris
Pistons.
went to the Spurs.
He he got waived and went to the Spurs or
Yeah,
got rerouted or something.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow. That's good. That's a good place for him.
Indiana got Doug McDermott. Let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. Let me just start from the top.
Yeah,
All right.
let's talk. Let's just rate the trades.
Let's talk about it. So we got the Suns receiving Royce O'Neal in a three-team trade with the Nets and Grizzlies. So the Suns get Royce O'Neal, David Roddy. The Brooklyn Nets get Jordan Goodwin and Keita Bates Diop.
Okay.
They also got 3 second-round picks um, from two from Memphis and then one from Phoenix. And then Memphis gets UT Watanabe and then Chimize Metu. I actually like Utah. I just don't know like
Well,
where he fits at.
the Grizzlies, I think, are in a way tanking.
Yeah,
I mean, because with Ja out, they didn't get off to a good start anyway. They haven't really, even with the Marcus Smart thing, hasn't worked out the way they wanted to.
yeah,
So I think they're tanking. I actually really like the move for the Suns because they kind of their problem was kind of like depth like that. Roddy's a good little shooter and scorer, and then O'Neal, obviously, he's been a good vet in the league.
yeah. And I
Um,
think Royce. Did Royce play for Phoenix at one point in his career or no?
He played for Utah, and then he
Okay,
was one of the guys like
gotcha. That's what it was. I
the
was
Nets like recruited.
yeah.
So he's just he followed Durant again.
Well, I like the Suns pickups.
Yep,
I don't really know too much with Brooklyn with Jordan Goodwin and
me too.
Keita Bates Diop. Memphis, like I said, I like Utah, but it's just a matter of because he actually was a pretty good 3-point shooter with Brooklyn. It's just a matter of if a team actually utilizes him.
Right.
All right, so Pacers. Wow, I cannot speak today. What the hell is going on over here? Pacers. They get Corey Joseph, and the Golden State Warriors got 2 second round picks, or no, they got 1 second round pick for Corey Joseph. So
Mm, that's not a big deal.
just depth for their guards.
Yeah. Right.
Blazers get Delano Banton. Boston Celtics get heavily protected 2nd round pick.
Yeah. Good for Boston.
Yeah. This was one that I
Springer for the second rounder.
Boston gets Jaden Springer. Sixers get a 2nd round pick, which I'm curious what year.
The pick is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't say anything here right now.
I'm hoping
Um,
soon, sooner than later.
Jaden's going to be a good. I think he'll be a good piece.
I think he'd be a good
Um,
role player for a team.
but not. I don't think for Boston. I don't think
No,
Boston's
he
going to
won't
be
get
a.
much playing time. I
No,
mean,
I don't think that's going to be a place for him to get
nah,
much playing time. I would say he would be one. I would like to see him down in San Antonio.
literally who I was thinking of. That's someone I could take a shot on him.
Yep, San Antonio.
They need guard help.
hmm Kings, they acquired Robin Lopez, and the Milwaukee Bucks get cash and draft rights to Demetrius Agrobanis.
That's a good move for Sacramento.
Yeah, yeah, they just get
Good
depth
backup.
there. Yep, we just talked about this one. So Spurs getting Doug McDermott, and they just
Sent Morris there.
yeah,
Okay.
they sent Morris to San Antonio, and they also
I don't hate it for both sides.
gave San Antonio a 2029 2nd round pick.
Okay.
So not a bad one.
Yeah.
Um, ugh,
Sixers and Bev. And,
Bucks,
yeah.
they get Patrick Beverly. We miss you, Patrick.
Beverly might end up being the coach. He took the clipboard away from Doc.
I'm listen, man. I mean, and we talked about this before the pod started. Campaign got traded to the Sixers, and we also got a 2027 2nd round pick for this. Um, I like
I like campaign.
Campaign is a great offensive
Yeah.
weapon.
He's a good backup for Maxi.
My comments that I were telling Degs is that Patrick Beverly is such a great um like there's things that are being done off the court to develop Maxi, and Patrick Beverly has been a key
It's good
piece to
influence
that.
on him. Yeah.
The story of him telling
After the Heat game.
after the Heat game telling Maxi, "Oh, you can't do it without Joel." Me and Degs went to the game that Joel dropped 70. That was also a night that Patrick Beverly was out. He was sick. I know I'm like speculating, but when he's not on the bench and he's not like able to go ahead and coach him and tell him, "Yo, you need to do this, you need to do that," and it showed that night. Tyrese, I mean, he had 20, I think 21 points that night, but who knows if Patrick Beverly was there, maybe he would have had his 26, 27, maybe 30 plus points. So I'm gonna miss Patrick Beverly a lot. I think that man deserves to. Um,
We could see him back eventually.
I would hope so. I mean, it would be beautiful to get him back in Philly, at least as a coach, especially to help us out. So no, that'll be good. But all best wishes to him. This is a pick that I actually like, or a draft that I like. Not draft, trade that I like. I I literally cannot speak today.
Hard work week, huh?
What the heck? All right, let's start this over. The trade that I liked the most, Dallas acquiring PJ Washington.
It's a great deal for him.
Great deal for them. Now
It's a
you
good
have
big
Kyrie,
alongside with
yep,
Luca and
Luca,
them. Hmm.
and then PJ down there. That's going to be great with them. Charlotte gets Grant Williams and Seth Curry, and they also got a 2027 first round pick. There's actually a story that's speculating around there that's circulating the internet saying that Grant Williams essentially switched his sneakers from Luca's to Jason Tatum's sneakers in the middle of the season, and that was like a part of a reason why they traded him. I
If that's the reason, that's
there's
really stupid and petty.
Well,
But
they were going further into it, talking about, I guess, that he was causing a lot of drama, or just like
well, I did hear
like
that
an
he
off
wasn't great in the locker room for the
right,
guys.
like
Yeah, they weren't
not a
meshing with
great
him.
locker room type of guy.
Yeah,
So the whole sneaker thing though was hysterical. I'm like, damn, that's funny. He's like, nah, he's better than you.
he wants to go back to Boston.
Yeah. So the Raptors, they actually acquired Spencer Dinwiddie, which now is a Laker.
Yeah, he got. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Brooklyn Nets, they get Dennis Schroeder and Thad Young. Thad Young goes back to Brooklyn. Dennis Schroeder has been
All
bouncing
over the place.
around,
Yeah,
man.
he's not a bad player. He's just. I think he's just that guy that's just like he's movable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another good one, which it sucks to say this because they're in our freaking conference. The New York Knicks. They actually got really strong with Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks. Alec Burks is old, but that gives them another just somebody that can
He
play.
plays the right way.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good.
solid
He's a
like
good
10
guard.
minutes a game. You
Yeah.
know, you get probably six
Right. He can
points.
score.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be fine with that. And Pistons get Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Archidakano, and then 2 second-round picks as well.
I like Grimes. I think Grimes is a good
I
player.
do like Grimes. I don't understand why the Knicks gave up 2 second-round picks for Alec Burks and Bojan, but I get. I mean,
Well, Bojan's good, dude.
Bojan, yeah, I would say
Bojan's real good.
Bojan.
Fournier's been trying to get out of there
Which,
for like a while too.
yeah, and there was rumors that the Sixers were trying to get Bojan, which I was hoping that was going to happen.
I like him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would have been a good piece.
yeah, it would have been real good. Mavericks, another one. They
Gafford.
get they
I like
get
that move too.
Daniel Gafford, and then they traded Rashawn Holmes in draft compensation to the Wizards. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, Rashawn. I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was on Dallas right now.
No.
I like Gafford though. Gafford's a solid big, so I like what they did there. Him and Washington kind of helping, with the 2-man game, with Luca and Kyrie. I think that's good moves on their part.
Yeah, for sure. OKC gets depth at the forward position with Gordon Hayward, and they give up to the Charlotte Hornets Trey Mann, Vasily Micic, Davis Bertans, and then draft compensation.
Really, that's a good trade
That's
because
a good one as
that's the
well.
type of vet that they want on that team.
And they still have all of their draft picks.
I saw they have 36 the next 6 years. It's like six a year.
Good night. So this one was just purely for money, where the Sixers got rid of Daniel House Jr. in a 2024 second-round pick. That's just to clear up cap space for the
Hmm.
buyout
Hmm.
time. There's rumors that the Sixers are looking to target Kyle Lowry. I forgot the other player that was also being flirted with the Sixers in the buyout market. I know Kyle Lowry
Yeah, Kyle
was the
was the
one.
first one. It was another guard, I think, or
I thought it was a big man, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure off the
might
top of my
come
head.
to us.
Yeah. We already talked about this, but Buddy Hield come to the Sixers, and Sixers getting rid of Marcus Morris and Furkan, so good one for our boys. Raptors, they actually get Kelly Olynyk, Ochai
Olenek was linked to the Sixers.
that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okojobi or whatever.
Okajobi
Yeah,
or Ochai Agbaji. That's what it is. Utah gets Otto Porter Jr. and Kira Lewis Jr. Also 2024 first round pick.
yeah, that's a good move for Utah.
Yeah,
God damn,
that's really good.
they gave up a
That's
first round pick for Kelly Olynyk.
yeah.
Utah always makes. I said this the other day. They always make these moves. They're just like very mediocre, and I don't understand why they do it. They did it for Jacob
No, the
Poeltl.
Utah Jazz got the 2024
I
first round
know.
pick.
I'm saying Raptors got Olynyk. I don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that
yeah.
does for them.
Yeah, no. It does nothing.
He might be a 1-year deal. That's the only thing I think of.
Yeah. Minnesota, they get depth at the guard position with Monte Morris, and they get rid of Shake Milton and Troy Brown Jr. Also a
Interesting.
2030 second round pick to the Detroit Pistons. I feel bad for Shake.
Yeah.
That sucks. Boston Celtics, they acquire Xavier Tillman from the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies get Lamar Stevens, 2027 second round pick, and also a 2030 second round pick as well.
I like Tillman.
Yeah, that's actually a
It's an
pretty
underrated move.
that's a pretty
Yeah.
good one. Utah gets Kevin Knox Jr., 2024 second round pick, and they just get rid of Simone Fonticchio to the Pistons.
Hmm, okay.
Yeah.
Kevin Knox. Yeah, that's a name.
hmm and then earlier this week that we've actually this was on February 1st. Uh, I'll just end it right here. So we have the Houston Rockets where they got Steven Adams, and the Memphis Grizzlies got Victor Oladipo, 2024 second round pick, 2024 second round. Well, they got two 2024 second round picks, and then a 2025 second round pick. So
Depot got waived too.
Depot did get waived, which I mean I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking dirt on a player because they
He don't have much time left in the league.
he does not have much time. I mean honestly I don't even think he I think
Could
he
be on.
needs I
He
think
might
he
not get
just needs to
signed.
hang it up.
Yeah, might not get
I
signed.
mean he's been badly injured the past few years. I don't
Yeah.
think that there's going to be a team that I mean he
He's a project still in a
yeah
way.
and at the same time you can have a career outside of the NBA. You've already been doing broadcasting stuff. He does
Right.
music stuff, so
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. But no, I mean with the Sixers, with what they land with Cameron Payne and also with Buddy Hield, it's good depth at the shooting position.
hmm
So offense gets stronger. Defense does, get hit a little bit. But there's some things that I'm actually really excited for. So Ricky Council the fifth is actually somebody that I'm really
More of an opportunity for him now.
yeah, I'm I'm
hmm
I'm curious because before with with Doc being our head coach, we probably wouldn't have been like, oh well, we're going to see some G League players getting some play time, and now you're actually seeing that happen. Obviously, because of there's some injury, but
Still, they see what they got in these guys. I
yeah,
think he's a big reason they may have parted ways with people like House and whatnot because they're like, well, we got the young guy. If we play him a little bit here, like a night like he didn't play a ton of minutes, but a night like last night,
yep,
just give him some spurts here and see what's the other one? Jack is it Jack? Tredavious Smith.
yes,
Yeah, he's another one. He's really athletic. I'm not saying he's definitely a rotational guy, but the second half of the season here, let's see what they got, and then we know they're going to get a buyout guy or two probably. So I I think a lot of what they did right. Embiid's going to be out probably 2 months at
yeah.
least minimally. So I think a lot what they did is okay. He's not going to be here. We need offense now. Okay, Pat.
Oh, Turquavion.
Okay, you know we we like Beverly Morris. They're good players, but we need people that can score the ball a little better. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's essentially what they did here. Between now with Payne, Heald, Maxey, Harris, Oubre, Melton, all these guys are just named now that they can score.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need. I just need 7 guys there. We're gonna need all 7 in order to make it through this stretch here without a Joe. So that's what I think happened. More, he's a big offensive guy, so he saw what was happening. We were losing some games here too, so I think he had enough and just wanted to get some more firepower on the
Yeah.
offensive side.
And honestly, this goes back to what I mentioned about the game last night where they lost to Atlanta. Earlier in the night when I was watching the game, they were getting their ass kicked, really bad. To the point where I was like, God, this is like bad
Hard to watch.
basketball. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
really bad to watch. But then I look at it this morning because I didn't watch the whole game, and they only lost by 6 points.
They fall back.
They lost by 6 points to a full strength Atlanta team.
They basically were playing 7 guys.
So I'm right there with you. I think that Daryl,
I
whenever there's a trade that happens, especially when it comes to a point that where it's surrounding some players that we like, a lot of people are of course at first going to be like, "What the heck," right? I think after looking at it, I'm
you
liking
need
it.
to let it settle a
I'm
little bit.
liking
Yeah.
it. I think we got strong on the offensive side. I'm curious how things play out the rest of the season. Um, talking about Joel, he's out for the next month or two.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the benefit is that we're in February, early February.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we're gonna possibly get him back early March, or get him at the end of March, or early,
Yeah,
like
April.
early
Yeah,
April.
April. Yeah, March. April.
I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that because if we can at least contain to get our, or if we can if we can help ourselves stay in that top five and not fall down to 6, 7, or 8, right? Um, I I have full confidence when Joel comes back, ease him in. He's probably going to have some minute restrictions at first, but ease him in. You're able to go ahead and get us, like I said, staying in that top five. By the time the playoffs start, take off the minute restrictions. He should be playing full strength at that time. Who knows? Maybe he gets back to his same self that he was at earlier this year. I don't know. I don't want to go ahead and put out any bad juju, but I think that we all have to have like some good thoughts around him, and
Faith.
then and then put that out there because our man is he, Joel's the MVP of this team, and it shows clearly.
Yeah. I look. It's tough for me. It's tough because I just feel like this is just the same story over again. Another year. No fault of his own. He gets hurt kind of around.
Kaminga still should be freaking suspended, in my opinion, but that's another conversation for another day.
He got hurt. He kind of gets. It seems like always around this time of year, something happens, and he's playing at an extremely high level, and then he has to either rehab it and play through it, or like now he's gonna have he had the procedure, right? So I just I just hate because it just feels like he's gonna come back in April or whatever it may be. It's gonna take him some time to get back to even close to what he was playing, just with the conditioning and what comes with
I know,
that.
I know.
So I'm just scared again. Like it's gonna happen. We're gonna end up facing Boston or something in the second round, and just it's not even his fault. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't be on the court like he should be. Again, I like the moves we did to try to combat that. I think it definitely helped in that regard. I'm not sure if it moved the needle for me, but I love the team though. Don't get me wrong. I love what they did. I love it. It's just tough for me. I said this the other day. I mean, in a way, I wouldn't care if they just shut him down because I want more years of him, And if in a way, I think a lot of the heel move, it's for this year, but it's for the future, the
Yeah,
next 2 to 3 years
yeah.
too. And I want them by next year, I want them to have like a complete team. It has to be that team. Before the injury, I still would have been on arguing that they could win this shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm with you. I'm gonna keep the faith. I'm gonna still watch them. I still support them like we do. Again, I like the guys. I like the demeanor.
yeah,
I cannot back Nick Nurse, but that's my worry. And you're 100% right. If they can keep afloat, I'd love to say top four. I
yeah,
think that would go a long way for them on their playoff run. They don't
yeah.
want to slip and not have home court advantage.
Of course,
At some point in the playoffs here. Now the East got really strong too,
of
so it's
course.
it's going to be Cleveland's playing really great
Knicks
right
are
now.
strong right now
Knicks now they just lose OG for a little bit, which
for a
is
little bit, but that's not gonna. I don't. That's not their best player. So
no,
that's why I
no.
think that that's still like they still aren't gonna take like
I hear you.
a huge
Well,
hit.
then they just got reinforcements here
Right.
with Boja, who will probably just start right in place here.
Yeah.
Um, and then the Pacers, obviously. So the East is very strong. Um, so that's the other thing that sucks. It's
Yeah.
not over the years. It hasn't been quite as um, stacked.
It's definitely a fun time to watch the NBA season with the East because over the past few years it hasn't been that competitive as it was this year. So it's pretty good to see that.
It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, I mean this was a fun episode. We're gonna wrap it up here. We actually have the All-Star weekend coming up next weekend, so check keep an eye out for our episode next week. We're gonna talk all about the All-Star weekend, our
predictions for
predictions.
the
Yep.
competitions and thoughts on the All Star game. The one thing I'll say is the last few years, I've enjoyed watching that game
Yeah.
because they're playing a lot harder. Kobe's really influenced that whole thing.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I really hope that the slam dunk competition got some better names than they've had in the past. With Jalen Brown in there, Tobin, they obviously got McClung gonna try to repeat, and the fourth. Who's the fourth? Why am I drawing a blank on the fourth?
Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown.
Yeah. Oh, Vaz. Okay, Jamie Vasquez. Okay.
Jaquez. Not Vasquez.
Oh, whatever.
Jaquez.
Jacquez.
Mac McClung and Jacob Toppin.
Isn't that Obi Top? That's his real name. Is it?
No.
Yeah. Is
Obi Toppin's with Indiana.
that his brother?
I don't think so.
Isn't that how it spells?
Could just be a common last name.
Yeah, that's his brother. Because I know he has a brother in the league.
Toppin's older brother, Obi. Yeah.
Oh wow! So they
That's
they both are high flyers.
that's weird how his brother
He's on the next.
was on the Knicks and then he got traded. Well, no, Obi was actually a free agent.
Right, and he signed with
Yeah,
Indiana, which
he
he's playing
signed
really
with
good with
Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah. So
Well, Jalen Brown, that's the biggest name we've had in a dunk competition in a while, I
yeah,
think.
I agree. I agree. I don't know if that's gonna really. I don't see him winning it
Trying.
though. Yeah.
I think McClung will win it again. He might be the one that tries the
I
hardest.
yeah. I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't been like in tune with him this much this year as I have been in the past few years. I know he's with Orlando now. Um. Yeah. No. That'll be
It'll be
interesting.
fun. Yeah,
It'll be
it'll be fun.
interesting. I'm excited for it. And then we have Sabrina and Steph that are going at it with the 3-point contest.
And our boy Maxi's in there.
Maxi's in the skills contest. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be good.
yeah.
It's going to be a great weekend next week. But no, we appreciate everybody for tuning in again with us today. We are back to our regular scheduled program, so we will. Well, I shouldn't say we're back to our regular scheduled program because we've been discussing potentially switching up recording and release times and things like that. But we'll
Keep
take
you up
care
to
of
yeah.
all of that
Hmm.
with all of you guys. Keep you up to date with that. But buddy, per use.
Cheers.
Cheers. Peace out, fam.
Peace.
Have a great day. And if you ain't doing nothing, go ahead and crack a cold one.